Knuckleheads, James Ali Bashir has been rushed back to the hospital due to a brain bleed. This, of course, is pursuant to a vicious attack that occurred allegedly at the Claressa Shields versus Ivana Habazin weigh-in a few days ago. Somebody apparently committed a battery. A lot of people say assault and battery, but it's actually a battery when you physically harm somebody. Somebody apparently committed a battery against James Ali Bashir, and we discussed this a couple days ago on the channel. Bashir was knocked unconscious for a while. Looks like he was knocked unconscious, and it looks like he was out for about 20 minutes. When he regained consciousness, apparently there were fractures in his skull. Now, again, we're not sure if that occurred from the blow that he may have taken or from maybe hitting the floor head first after the blow. Perhaps it was a little bit of both. But basically, he was rushed to the hospital after this alleged attack. And we're not sure who it is. The rumor mill is saying it may have been someone from Claressa Shields' team, particularly her brother. However, we don't know, and I don't think it's okay to point fingers until the actual evidence comes out. So we don't know who really attacked James Ali Bashir at this point. But what we do know is that it's extremely unfortunate that this 71-year-old trainer was basically assaulted and knocked to the ground, had skull fractures, was taken to the hospital where they did surgery, and it looks like now he has been rushed back to the hospital for a bleed on his brain, and this has been confirmed by Ivana Habazin, who was supposed to fight Claressa Shields on Saturday, but the fight got canceled because of this incident. And it looks like this has also been confirmed, and rather this news was broken, it looks like, by a Silvana Ambrosano, who is a Kronk boxing representative. Now, if that sounds familiar, this is the same gym that Emmanuel Stewart, the legendary Emmanuel Stewart, may he rest in peace, used to train his fighters out of. And in fact, James Ali Bashir was actually a trainer for Vladimir Klitschko at some point. So this is extremely disturbing news. Now this man, because of this incident, has a brain bleed and he's fighting for his life. Now, the only basically experience that I have with brain bleeds are I had a great friend in boxing. His name was Magomed Abdusalamov. I'm not sure if you guys remember him in his fight, basically for a contender fight in Madison Square Garden, where the winner was going to end up taking on one of the Klitschkos. He got punched several times in the head. Looked like he had a hematoma. He ended up vomiting afterwards. He ended up having a brain bleed. And my understanding is when there's a brain bleed, these people have to have a portion of their skull removed, I think, sometimes, because there might be swelling associated with it. Obviously, a brain bleed can cause all kinds of problems. Sometimes they have to put him in a medically induced coma. So who knows what's really happening here? The other concern I have here, the major concern is James Ali Bashir is 71 years old. Again, I need to reiterate that because at 71 years old, after taking a blow like that, and then hitting the floor and fracturing your skull and having to go through surgery, are you going to be able to recuperate? Are you going to be able to heal from such a traumatic physical experience? You know, it's very worrisome for me. Obviously, the whole boxing community, or rather a lot of people in the boxing community, are praying for James Ali Bashir. This is a very polarizing situation because it looks like he was saying some things to Claressa Shields' sister that may have been inappropriate. However, does that warrant somebody being attacked at the age of 71 and having their head smashed to the ground and fracturing their skull and now having to go through what seems to be a potentially life-threatening situation with a brain bleed? I don't think it warrants it at all. But again, this is a boxing forum at Fighters Rep. We accept everybody's opinion, whether we agree with it or not. So personally, I think it's absolutely disgusting that anyone would hit an elder, especially somebody at the age of 71, knowing basically how frail people are at that age. I don't think it's acceptable, to really hit people just for talking smack, especially in a boxing promotion. However, it happened. A lot of people felt like he deserved it. I don't really agree with that, but, opinions, different strokes for different folks. Everybody's got opinions, and doesn't mean we have to agree with them. But again, this is a forum where people will not be expelled for expressing their opinion. I appreciate everybody's opinion. I'd love to know what you guys think about this situation. Personally, I find it very sad. I hope James Ali Bashir recovers. I don't think anybody deserves to, be in this situation, especially at the age of 71. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up a picture of James Ali Bashir immediately after the alleged attack. This is him. And, he looks like he looks like he had his face smashed in this picture. Look at his mouth. It's covered in blood. Was this from one blow, or were there, several blows delivered to this 71-year-old man? This is horrific. I don't think this is something that should happen at a boxing promotion. I don't think this is something that should happen, period, especially at a boxing promotion where you have sanctioned fights where people are supposed to kind of, fight under rules and regulations, and we're not supposed to have this kind of situation. So that's basically, what I wanted to communicate with you guys. Again, tell me what you guys think. I'm going to go to the chat briefly because we do have somebody in the chat that's expressing their opinions, and it looks like the chat's not working right now, but it's Hybrid95. Thank you so much for joining the chat, Hybrid. And Hybrid95 is saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but one of those wrongs put a man in jail. And we're going to find out who this person is. I'm not even sure if anybody's in jail because of this yet. If they found the person, I'm sure they're in jail and at least at the police station being questioned. But yeah, I agree, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I also don't believe that people should have their heads smashed in for talking smack at a boxing promotion, especially. I don't think people should have their head smashed in for talking smack, period, unless it's something horrifically offensive. And even then, I don't think you should put your hands on somebody. But it's very a disturbing situation. And Hybrid95 is also saying Ali Bashir didn't break the law by trash talking. I agree with that 100%. So knuckleheads, I had to come at you with this news. I thought it was extremely disturbing that this man is back in the hospital because of a brain bleed and potentially fighting for his life. If you'd like to discuss combat sports, if you want to comment on this video, please feel free to do so and click the subscribe button below to continue to support us. We're going to try to bring you all the big news from the boxing world, from the fight game, whenever we can. Also, feel free to donate in the super chat or buy your Fighters Rep merch in the links in the description. Finally, if you click the Amazon affiliate link below, it'll take you to some hand wraps. Whether you buy the hand wraps or anything else from Amazon after clicking that link, it'll give Fighters Rep a commission. We'll greatly appreciate it, and we'll reinvest it right back into our promotion to try to make the best kickboxing promotion in the world. So thank you guys so much. Prayers for James Ali Bashir, and we'll let you know what happens if anything changes. You all have a great